All right, hey, this is Brent Attaway. I'm excited for another Whiteboard Wednesday with you. Today we are going over the book funnel, the infamous book funnel for consultants, speakers, coaches. If you're a consultant or a speaker or a coach, many of you have a book or you're thinking about writing a book to generate more leads and therefore create more consulting and coaching clients for your business or more speaking gigs. Great way to get all of those, including speaking gigs. As you know, a book is one of the most credible ways to get your name out there and also be able to establish that instant authority in your marketplace. So let's talk about how a funnel should be structured for a book funnel. I'm going to go over one, just getting the opt-in for your book. I'm going to go over the options of, should you charge for your book? Should you just give it away for free for shipping and handling? You've probably seen that model. And also talk about what happens after the book purchase. This is crucial. So after they actually, I say purchase, or maybe you give it away, but after they say, yes, I want your book, what should you be doing to get them to move to the next step in your funnel? So right now, though, I'm not going to talk about the after steps. I'll mention some options, but we're not going to go deep into that. We're going to define the book funnel itself right now. So first of all, I've got my handy magnet to start us off. This is so it can shortcut some of our drawings together. But there is our book. And by the way, this can work for a physical book or an ebook. But either way, I would suggest doing one of these if you have any aspirations of writing, or even if you don't write, you can speak a book as well. And there's programs out there that can help you actually speak your book and do an audio, and they'll convert it, edit it, and create a book for you. Okay? I've even done it where my webinar that we wrote, with slides and everything, we've been able to turn that into an actual book as well. So it's really flexible and really good. So here's what you would do for your book funnel. The first step is to create your page. That, headline here, your book image is typically the best thing to put here. And we have all kinds of templates and design options we use for our clients, but always have a nicely designed opt-in page, if you will. Now, what I suggest you do in most cases, and for example purposes here, on this button right here that they would click, really that's going to be, it's like a two-step opt-in. So what will happen is this will pop open or pop up, and it'll ask for their name and email. Okay, so there's a box there, and what this does, you're not saying purchase my book yet. You're saying, this is step one. Up here in this box, this could say step one, and from there they go to the next step. So there's a button here now that says next step. So they click here to get the book. It says, okay, step one, put your name and email in here and go to the next step. The next step is the actual purchase page, and this would be called an order form. Like in Infusionsoft, they call them order forms, or whatever you want to call it, your checkout page. But again, you would actually reiterate what they're getting here, right? So here's all the checkout information that they would enter. That's their billing info. Here's their credit card info. What I like to do, though, for our clients is I would suggest you do as well, is put the image of the book right here, right? And so have the book image here, what it includes, if there's any bonuses, audios that go with it or anything. And it just explains what they're getting once again. And they check out for the book. So this is step 2 of the process. So, and I didn't address this yet, but I'm going to assume if you are watching any of these Whiteboard Wednesdays, or if you haven't yet, this is your first one, always make sure you know where the traffic's coming from. Let's call this Facebook traffic, and let's do YouTube. It doesn't really matter. I'm making examples just so you have the context here. So you're driving ads from Facebook and YouTube to this page. They're clicking this button. This pops up on the page, gets their initial information, and then goes to the order form. Now, why do this? Well, the reason is what happens in between here and here is important, because a lot of people will click and say, yes, get me going, and then something happens before they check out. or they bounce out of the checkout page. They might change their mind, they get too busy, or the form, whatever, just technology doesn't work for them on their mobile phone that day or wherever they're checking out with, or they don't have their credit card. And so they bounce off of there, right? So that's called an abandoned cart. Well, now at least you've gathered their name and email to follow up. So I would put, and when we're building Infusionsoft campaigns, we build like an email with a timer, an email with a timer, and an email that goes out and strategically follows up with them. These are emails, by the way, that strategically follows up with them if they did not meet this goal of buying this. So the first goal was for them to opt in here, and then the next goal was to actually purchase the book. And so in between those goals, you have a sequence waiting and saying, if they have not purchased, then follow up with these emails. That's what it's going to do. In fact, how that would do it is there would be a timer right here saying wait 2 hours. It's typically what we do, an hour to 2 hours, and it follows up and says, hey, notice you didn't check out. And then these emails have links back to, guess where? Here, right? It takes them back to the order form to finish their checkout process. So I hope that makes sense. That's the first piece. Now, I've been saying purchase. This can be shipping and handling. Let's say $5.95 or something like that. Or it can be the book purchase. You can just say it's a discounted book purchase. I'm selling it on Amazon right now for $21.95, and you can get it for $15.95 off my website. Whatever it is, that is what your order form, what they're checking out for, is they're either paying you shipping and handling or book price in this example. Okay? So next is we move. Oh, I just bumped my camera, guys. I apologize. There we go. Next is we go from the order form to delivering, right? To delivering this. Now, after they check on the order form, remember, I told you what we'll go over is, well, what's the goal of this whole campaign? Well, it's not to get the book purchase. You're not going to make money even if you were selling it for $25 the book, and you sold thousands of them. In a year, you're not going to make that much money. Plus, that's a whole crap load of work to do. Plus, you've got to pay the shipping and handling on top of this, or not shipping and handling, excuse me. You're not just the shipping and handling, but your printing costs, everything. If anything, you'll break even here. You'll probably lose money if you pay for an ad, comes in here, they opt in, and then they check out. Well, you're going to lose money between paying an ad and just getting this, especially if you're only charging shipping and handling. Now, that's okay. That's not a problem. I'm just letting you know, when we build these funnels, it's not to make money to this point. It's to make money on what you call the back end, or the real core offer. Okay, that comes later. So here is your real goal, actually, is to get an opt-in. That's the first goal. And then second, this just helps offset some of that ad cost. That's called liquidation, ad liquidation, or campaign liquidation. So that's all you're trying to do, is liquidate your ad spend there. So if you ever hear that term, liquidate your ad spend, you have something on the front here that's liquidating this. But sometimes it doesn't even liquidate in full. You still will lose the money, but it's getting close, right? So next goal, if you're not making money here, then what? What do you do? Well, first, you take them to a thank you page, right? So thank you. Your book has been, your purchase has been confirmed. Expect your book in so many days. In the meantime, here's your bonuses. You can click here to go get the video, whatever you're going to offer here, okay? Thank you. Now, here's the key. On this thank you, if I was to erase that and actually define what's on this thank you page, this is key, okay? So pay attention. Thank you. Really, that's a small. The headline is, let me give you more. And so when you give you more, then you list what that is. Now, the more might be an option to where you're really just giving them a strategy session. It could be purchasing your $49 program that goes in depth on the details of your book. It could be a $97 program. It could be like a $197 program, but it better be killer if you're gonna. I say killer program if you're gonna offer in the $200 range. I mean, all they did was purchase here, and now you're jumping them to $200. You better be really good. It better be just a killer offer, and it's perfect. Most clients, it's here that I'm telling them to do. Around $49, even less, sometimes like $21, by the way. So right in there. And that is now actually where you'll start liquidating your ad spend fully. So you'll actually come out on top. If you can get enough of these sales after they've ordered your book, and then you say, let me help you more, I have an audio program, a video, series, or whatever you're going to offer more on top of this, then it's good. Now, keep in mind, you don't have to offer something for money. I have many clients that go straight from book to money. If they don't buy, then you follow up in the campaign in a sequence, if you will. Inside Infusionsoft is how we do this. And then you would, these are timers and emails, then you would actually follow up with them and get them onto a strategy session. So that strategy session, by the way, is a whole nother campaign. There's I think we've got in fact, I believe it might have been the previous week's Whiteboard Wednesday, where I go over a full way to build out a strategy session campaign, okay, like all kinds of options. But so this book funnel is very specific here. So this is how you would do a book funnel, and then possibly to a strategy session campaign that then leads to a conversation where you can close this person that first requested a book now into a sell to your coaching or consulting program. So I hope that makes sense. I hope you can see this is really, really beneficial when you can get a full funnel in place from Optin Page, a two-step opt-in, one to a checkout, have a follow-up sequence in between, just in case you lose them there, and then two, after they check out, assuming they said yes, then you're able to now say thank you and offer more to them. That offer more could be an upsell. That's what I prefer to do, anywhere from $21 to $49. And then from there, you can offer a strategy session to go with it. So I'll just, since we're not going to go into strategy session, this stands for strategy session campaign, okay? And you would say, great, thanks for purchasing. Again, after, even if they did purchase here, you take them to another thank you page and say, great, thank you for purchasing. Let me offer you even more, which is a strategy session, free strategy session. Get on the phone and close them on a high-end coaching program, because they're a much more qualified buyer. So that's the key on what this is all about. And let me just remind you, every time you're doing an opt-in, you're not trying to get just the opt-in. You're trying to qualify them as a client to to purchase one of your core products or core services and become a really, really valuable client for you over the long term. So here's the key things to qualify them. One is this qualifies them when they purchase this here. And then two, if they purchase here at this juncture here. If they purchase the book, let's call that qualifier 1, Q1. But then if they qualify, or if they purchase this, that's qualifier number 2. What I do in Infusionsoft, here's a little bonus tip, is I look for who's purchased these, and on my dashboard we pop up, it says, okay, you have this many Q1s, you have 121 people who've purchased. Oh great, they're not highly qualified, but they're better than just an opt-in, right? But 2, I'm really looking for, but how many people purchased this $21 program, so Q2, qualifier 2? Well, wow, out of the 121 people, we had 19 people take us up on that offer here. And now guess what? You have their phone number, you have their address. So more than likely you can get a hold of them. One of our clients, who I'm not at liberty to say, but very, very high-end client, very cool, very good to work with, large list, all that great stuff. But here's how simple they always keep it. Once they hit qualifier 2 stage, this has changed their world, is they send it to a sales floor. Sales floor meaning it's not this super high-end sales floor. It could just be your sales team. They have a small sales floor, about 15 people now that are strictly calling these qualified leads and other qualified leads we generate for them. But the point is this is how a funnel looks when you're qualifying them to get to a sales floor or get on the phone with you, because you're the sales floor essentially, on a strategy session. Does this make sense? And can you see this really working for your business? I hope you can. I know it will if you just go put it to work and test it and stick with it until you dial it in. Again, this is the whole process for a book funnel. If you're a high-paid consultant, coach, or speaker looking to establish more authority and have your book out there generating new leads for you and qualifying people, then this is the way to do it. All right, hope you've enjoyed this. Again, Brent Attaway with 10X Marketing with another Whiteboard Wednesday on the book funnel. If you want us to help you build this, you know what to do. Usually there's some kind of link below that you can just click and go sign up for your strategy session to talk with one of us, and we can help implement this book funnel into your own funnel. All right, we'll talk soon. Hope you've enjoyed, and get going and get to work.